Welcome, watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion on the 18th of January 2023. Why does January always feel like it's the longest month in the entire year? It's just really weird, it seems to have gone real slow, not sure why. But that seems to be the trend. Now for your earworm of the day, listen to this! Yes, Treasure Island Dizzy on the ZX Spectrum. Now, I have covered this game on the Amiga and also the C64. What was it, the Amstrad? It was one. Anyway, but you can go back and have a look at those if you so wish. But this is the game that I originally played on the humble ZX Spectrum 128K. Hence the music, because the music just is amazing for this game. If you had a 48K, sadly you wouldn't have got this amazing soundtrack. But it is an absolute earworm, so you'll be probably whistling this for the rest of the day. You're welcome. Anyway, so yeah, the second in the Dizzy series from the Oliver twins, published by Codemasters, and it's a very, very good game actually. The only thing is you only have one life in which to complete the entire game. Now, this was due to a coding bug, I believe, if I've got my facts correct, and yeah, so you've got to be really careful because that thing hanging there will kill you. So there. Most things in this game will actually kill you, and as you've only got one life, you need to be ultra careful. Now, the other thing about the game, you have to collect 30 gold coins, and which are scattered around the island, and some of them are very well hidden, as you found just a second ago, with the one that was stuck behind a piece of bark. Yes. Lovely. But they're all over the place. They've got, they're behind window panes, they're behind plants, they're behind, well, gate posts, if you like. Yeah, they're all over the place. So to find all 30 is a challenge in itself. The puzzles in the game are fairly logical, I suppose. I don't think I ever had too much of a problem with deciding where things went. But we'll see how we get on. You know, we've got the usual criteria to hit, and I'll just continue with muscle memory and go through as much as I can in the time that we normally have. So, if you've just joined us, welcome. This is Treasure Island Dizzy. Ah, memories. Man, I love this game. Absolutely love it. I just wish there was more than one life. But, do you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. And it actually just makes it more of a challenge, and which will add that into our replay value factor at the end. Yes. Look, you can moonwalk with Dizzy. If you hold down Z and X at the same time, you can make Dizzy do a moonwalk. A stationary moonwalk, however. But there you go. So if you've never seen an egg do a moonwalk, well, you just have. You can tell all your friends and be pleased. So let's go graphics first. I love this game. It's just so, well, it's Dizzy. Yeah. Dizzy's an egg. I don't think he meant to be an egg. I think it was just because he was easy to draw. I might have got that wrong as well, but I don't think I have. If the Oliver twins do happen to pop in and say hi, can you just verify those facts for me? That would be great. So yeah, it's a puzzle game, and the basic idea is that you've got to get off the island. Yes. And the way you do that is to buy yourself, I think it's an off-board motor actually, from a shopkeeper who's on the other side of the island, hence why we need the snorkel, because Dizzy can't swim. Well, he can't swim without it. He doesn't really swim anyway, he sort of walks underwater. I'll show you this in a minute. We'll get there. It's all sort of, it'll tie in. I love the fact that coins are yellow on the Spectrum version. On the Amstrad, they're white. So, actually, they actually are gold coins on the Spectrum version. Way! So, big plus for the Specky there. Excellent. Now, it's smooth as butter. It's a screen-by-screen game, but the animations are really nice. There's no glitching, there's no sort of lag, and there's... the only thing is the colour clash, but unfortunately the Spectrum... Well, we all know the Spectrum had this issue. It's nothing new. So, games like this did... Your character just melded in. But it was quite cool if you wanted to have a green Dizzy, stick him in front of one of these green plants. And if you wanted him to be red, stick him in front of one of the red things, like the trees, for example. There's quite a nice little trick. There's like two trees quite close to each other, and if you stick Dizzy in the middle, it looks like he's actually wearing his red boxing gloves. Oh, if I can find that out for you while I'm playing, I will. So off we go. So to sort of round it up, really, it's you collect things, you use items in certain places. Some of them are red herrings and you'll never use them in a million years, but that's up to you to find those out. The other thing I will tell you is there's a couple of really horrible, fiendish puzzles in this where, unless you've got the right item, it will kill you if you walk over the wrong things. Looking at you, Gravestone, but yeah, we won't. I won't spoil things because in this day and age, because of emulation, you can save your game state any way you want. But I would still try and play through it as much as you can. This is such a fun game. I love the bubbles coming off him there. I've always loved that when I had my Spectrum. And I don't know what it is. I just really like the graphic, the visual representation of the bubbles. I just love it. It's great. So it's absolutely fun. The controls are simple. Let's move on to controls because they really are a piece of cake. It's ZX for left and right. Then it's space to jump. And then it's enter to pick things up. You can use joystick if you prefer. I always prefer keys just because that's just my jam. Anyway, like I said, everything will kill you. Even the most... oh yeah, we can't go in there yet. Even the most sort of placid looking creatures will annihilate you in one hit. So you've got to be careful. I love all the animations. You got these big jellyfish, and then you got these little fish going around there. Oh, I guess they're piranhas, maybe. Well, maybe not. Maybe not in the ocean. Unless they're salty piranhas. They sound tasty. Anyway, so yeah, control system's nice and responsive, which is good. I think there's a coin under that skull, or the other one, but I don't want to start picking stuff up underwater. Now, the version I had on my Specky, sometimes if you picked up a coin, it would move your inventory slot up by one. This crab here is a real bugger. Sometimes you'll clear it, and then sometimes you'll fall into his claws. Normally on the way back, actually. So I'm going to try my best to... Ooh, that was close. Okay. So yeah, it's basically from one island to the other. Finding all the items that you need to use, and find all the coins. Then you can have a glorious game over screen. I don't think there was a glorious game over screen, if I'm honest. But so the other thing is you'll need to rearrange your inventory into a certain order to be able to use items in a certain order. Simple, right? Anyway, let's move on. So don't forget your snorkel, because if you suddenly... I've done this before when I actually played the game back in the day. I would forget my snorkel and then jump into the sea quite merrily, only to float on the top and have a game over. Make sure you got the right items at the right time. Best advice. Anyway, music is amazing. I love the music. The music is just so catchy, and it's probably one of my favourite Dizzy theme tunes of all time. I don't know what it is. It's just incredibly bouncy. It's a catchy little tune. Am I going to risk that? No, I'm not, because I just realised my snorkel's right at the top of that list. Anyway, so there's an axe, so we can use that. I know where to use that. You do have sounds as you pick stuff up as well, which is nice. So we've got music and sound in the game. So you always try and pick stuff up, even if you can't. It's worth a try. So there you are. But yeah, this is a great entry in the Dizzy series. I think Fantasy World Dizzy came next, or was it Fast Food? I can't remember. But there was an interim game. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure it was. Yeah, I'm sure Fast Food came before Fantasy World Dizzy. I could be wrong. But I think it was Dizzy, Treasure Island Dizzy, Fast Food Dizzy, Fantasy World Dizzy, Quick Snacks, Magic Land, and then the others. Anyway, and then you had Dizzy Down the Rapids and Bubble Dizzy and all that jazz as well. So quite a lot of entries into the Dizzy series. Great. So playability, it's just right there. You probably want to sit yourself in for a good couple of hours to play, and if you haven't got that time, use an emulator and save your progress so you can come back to it. This is one of those games that's a real triumph to finish. Now obviously back in the day you didn't have a save feature, so I'm quite proud to say that I finished this game back in the day with 1 life, and chuffed to bits I was indeed. I think I got stuck on the last coin. I think literally I'd got 1 coin left to find and I didn't know where it was. And a friend of mine had this on the Amstrad, and he said, "Have you tried here?" And I was like, "Oh no, I didn't know that was there." And I think it was the one that I picked up right at the start of the game behind the tree. So there you are. Replay value, yep, of course. If Those trees always look like they've got horrible faces on them. Anyway, yes, replay value. If you struggle with the game, then you're going to want to come back to it until you finish it. And it's one of those games where even if you finished it, it's fun to come back and have another go at. It really is. So I would thoroughly recommend picking up a copy of Treasure Island Dizzy. I think it's quite common actually on eBay and stuff to get it on well, any system really. The Amiga version actually has full colour and a completely different soundtrack, which was a bit of a shame because this on the Amiga would have sounded amazing. So there you go. But I do like the AY chip versions. They're very cool, but very bouncy, very addictive, and you'll probably end up whistling this for the rest of the afternoon or morning or evening or whatever you're doing. So there, yeah. Age ratings any, because I played this when I was a wee nipper and it was absolutely fine. So there you go. It's not exactly rocket science and there's nothing really too cheesy about it, and you should be able to find your way around the islands quite happily. Most of the puzzles are in the right places. So I'm about to show you where another puzzle where we use our axe, so you can actually follow my gameplay up to this point. If you dare. Right, so we need the snorkel. That's important, okay? Now you'll notice there the bridge dips down in the middle. There's a reason for that, which we're about to show you. So you can see that there's water under the bridge. Hey! Now we're going to fall through the bridge and down into a cave. So you need your snorkel. If you don't do that, first time I did that, I died because I didn't have my snorkel with me. I don't want to pick anything up in here. So I'm going to try and find my way out in a sec. Just have a little explore around and see where we're at. So there's some, I think that's pirate treasure up there. Pirate treasure. Yar! So, I'll give you a hint. Don't walk over the gravestone while you haven't got the Bible while holding the treasure. Okay? Simple. Pirates don't like you stealing their stuff, which is quite ironic, really, isn't it? But anyway, this has been Treasure Island Dizzy on the ZX Spectrum 128K. I've been Rich. This has been the Games Arcade Retro Edition, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be back very soon with something new for you to check out. Until then, my friends, you keep it retro, and I'll be back very soon. So, as per usual, it's bye for now. Ta-da!